project started from a community youth group, which was a creative project for LGBT youth in Chester and around the area. As part of that group, we had conversations about the ideas of arriving in spaces and the kind of baggage that's kind of placed onto the body upon the arrival, and how it can be quite this quite jarring experience. The idea of baggage just kind of stayed with me for a while. I just started with these quite ordinary ideas, or these kind of pedestrian prompts of choreography, of the idea of putting a bag on and taking a bag off, and the idea of sharing baggage, which is equivalent to sharing weight, and the idea of piling on baggage, the idea of the dancers and their bodies quite literally piling on.
So I think this performance essentially means a coming together of queer people to tell, represent, showcase and deliver a queer story that's going to relate to not only ourselves but to other people within our community. I think it's a story that provides comfort alongside question and is resonant for queer people.
Baggage is an opportunity for me to come together and work with other queer artists to create something which really centres queerness and centres the idea of being queer on our own individually and also together within a dance piece.
To me, baggage is about exploring things that I've not looked at in my life. It's a really internal piece that I think is reflective to a lot of people. It's really open to interpretation of whatever baggage means to you.
So the creation process for me was really good. It's the first time I've been in a fully queer environment surrounded by queer people, to be able to work on a performance together that fully encompasses and has that thread of our identity that we can all relate to.
One of the things I enjoy about working with other people is bouncing ideas off each other. Being able to come together and devise a work or share ideas first of all, and see how things develop organically is really important for me as an artist.
I think improvisation was the key element to really help us find what we wanted to say, how to say it, and how to put that on our bodies and in the space.
The improvisational aspect is something that I've not really got a chance to experiment with so far, so it's been really nice to be able to play and work with different ideas.
So working with live music was really impactful for me. Having the opportunity to dance and move to improvise music was really inspiring, because I got the opportunity to move with Chloe, where we were able to improvise with each other in our own languages of movement and have conversations that way, physical kind of conversation, and then to move in the space with more of an audible conversation with Henry, going back and forth with the music and playing. It just added another element that kind of threw it off guard and gave you the ledge to move, to create, to play, and to speak. It's almost like you're in a room full of many people who don't speak the same language, and the conversation can just continue regardless. We were all bringing something very different conversationally, but at the same time it challenged us and supported us to grow and assist the piece in its progress.
I think with the piece being performed at Pride, it's so different to anything else that's going to be shown. And I just hope that they can take away that queer experience is not always like really heavily performative, that it can be organic in a contemporary dance setting.
I think inherently, because it is a queer piece with queer bodies representing kind of queer stories and the feeling of baggage, it should be fun, it should be lovely for them to watch, but also resonant for them to see the struggles, the reality, the organic nature of how it truly feels to grow up queer and grow in your queerness and have that change and the need to identify it and pressures and taking it all as baggage.
I'm hoping that people will see something that resonates with them. So something that they can tap into, even if it's only on, in a small way, or maybe their whole life story is in the piece or something like that. I don't know. And in the queer community, LGBTQIA plus community, something that we have is we all have a shared experience of what it is to be part of this, even though within that experience everything is diverse and really, really different for each person, lots of intersections of identities and things like that. If a little bit of what we're doing carries forward to somebody else, then that's fantastic.